TCS presents Penn State football. From Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's the Penn State Nittany Lions versus the Panthers of Pitt. This game is brought to you by the Dodge Boys. If you have a head for cars, head for Dodge. And by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Real goodness from Kentucky Fried Chicken. Hi, everybody. I'm Ray Scott. Max McGee is here. Delighted you're with us. Max, do you believe because Penn State and Pitt have each received bowl bids that they'll be any less intense in this battle today?
Oh, I sure don't, Ray. I think the main deal up for stakes here is the Eastern Championship, the Pennsylvania Championship, and, of course, bragging rights for a full year. So I think we're going to see the hardest hitting game of the year.
Okay, all-time Penn State great Franco Harris is down on the field with head coach Joe Paterno, and we go to Franco now.
It's been a long time. Hey, Joe, how do you feel about Pitt beat Notre Dame last week? Do you think it was a good thing for Eastern football?
Absolutely, Franco. And I think it was a great thing for Eastern football, and I think it's a great thing for football as far as Penn State's concerned, because the better your opponents, the better you got to work at it. And I think that having a game like this today is a big thing for both teams, and especially good for Eastern football.
That's right. And Joe, what do you think you're going to need to beat Pitt today?
Well, we're going to have to play good defense, Franco. We're going to have to make sure we protect the wide side of the field, don't give Tony Dorsett a lot of running room out there. I think that's the first thing we got to do. And then when we get the football, we got to keep it a little bit. If we get the football and we can't move the ball and we got to keep giving it to them, nobody's going to hold up that long against that kind of an offense. So I think, go ahead.
Now, are you healthy? Is your team healthy?
This is the best Penn State football team we've had all year. We're healthy. We've had a great week in fact, a week and a half of practice. We've done some things a little differently, moved some people around, and I think going to help us. So overall, I think it's going to take a very fine football team to beat us, so we're ready to play well.
So, hey, thank you very much, Joe.
Okay,
good luck
Franco,
to you.
Good luck. Good to see you again.
Okay.
Well, Max McGee, I think from what you told me here a while ago, this will be your first in-person look at Tony Dorsett. Is that right?
That's right, Ray. And I spent last week, of course, on their off week, I talked to Paul Horning, who did the Notre Dame game last week, and he said this Tony Dorsett does things that he hasn't seen in a long time. So I'm very excited about watching this young man.
What do you do to try and defense a guy like Dorsett? Is there such a thing as keying on a Dorsett?
Well, I think so, but I don't think that's the way Coach Paterno will do it. He plays that triple option so well. I've seen it in the past. I think you play defense and hope for the best. And of course, Dorsett's going to get his yards, but the main thing is to keep him off the scoreboard.
How about Penn State offensively? Do you expect them to try and, since they've had 2 weeks to get ready for Pitt, I think Joe Paterno has hinted to a couple of people that maybe we'll see some different things today.
I wouldn't be surprised, Ray. I think we'll see out of tailback, we might see Jimmy Suffalo today. Rich Mauty's ready to play, and as Joe said just a moment ago, this team is ready to play. They're in better physical shape, and they've had time to put in a few tricks, so I look for anything.
Okay, you've had a couple of weeks to sort of survey the season. What have your thoughts been about this season and Penn State overall, Max?
Well, Ray, I watched a young team develop this year, and they've had some ups and downs, but it's mostly been up. And to watch these kids develop, you got to think that in the next 2 or 3 years, Penn State's going to be one of the best teams in the country.
Okay, Penn State comes on to the artificial turf here at Three Rivers Stadium. A capacity crowd from the standpoint of tickets sold. Whether a capacity crowd will indeed be in attendance remains to be seen. And here come the Pitt Panthers. Can't get much closer than that.
That's right, Ray, and this today, of course, could even this series up, and Pittsburgh is really high. They, after beating Notre Dame last week, that put a new emphasis on their football program here. And
speaking of Pitt being high, would you expect if Penn State were to win the toss to do what they did at Maryland and kick off?
I wouldn't put it past Joe Paterno. He did that at Maryland. He'll do whatever he thinks best. And, of course, there's not a win factor here when you're down in this bowl, so he might kick and see if they fumble.
If for any reason Andrus has problems in moving Penn State, do you think that he would entrust the quarterback chores, he being Joe Paterno, to a freshman like Chuck Fusina?
I think he has a lot of confidence in Chuck Fusina. I personally do. I've watched him work out. I've seen him in the games, and I think the kid can play. And I think possibly if John doesn't move the football, that we'll see this freshman in there today.
Joe Paterno, having already stated from the standpoint of physical condition that Penn State's in absolutely the best shape they've been in all season. Pitt came out of the Notre Dame game in remarkably good physical condition. There's one question mark at a defensive halfback whether Jim Wilson is going to be able to play. Holy smokes, look at the captains. There's number 14, Chuck Fusina, the freshman quarterback from McKees Rocks, which is, of course, hard by Pittsburgh. As the captains meet at the center of the field, and with honorary captains, seniors, standing as far as Pitt is concerned behind them, we'll tell you that the officials for today's game, Bill Parkinson's the referee, Foster Gross the umpire, Jim McGuckin the linesman, line judge Ed Stakem, field judge John O'Rourke, back judge Jim Egan, and clock operator Dan Sullivan. So let's watch now and see how this coin toss comes out. Well, Franco Harris, are you caught up in the excitement as you're standing down on the surface here of Three Rivers Stadium?
Yes, I am, and it's really exciting on this side. Penn State has always been a team that's been up for the big game, and this definitely is a big game going into the Sugar Bowl. So they're definitely showing it right now, and they look like they're ready.
Okay, it appears that Pitt has won the toss. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this. Well, Max, we'll never find out what Penn State would have done had they won the toss, because Pitt did win the toss. Do you think that in a game of this importance and this magnitude, with the intense rivalry, that that Pitt might try to do something unusual on the first play from scrimmage?
Well, I do know that Johnny Majors wants to beat Penn State awfully bad, and I'm sure he's going to pull out a few stoppers that Penn State hasn't seen this year. But Joe Paterno's teams are always prepared, and it's very unusual to see one of those things surprise a Joe Paterno coached team.
You've looked over the statistics. Do you give any edge in the kicking game from the standpoint of place kicking to either Pitt with Carson Long or Penn State with Chris Barr?
No, I think they're both outstanding. Carson Long has a little bit better average, but of course Chris Barr is leading the nation in field goal, and frankly Chris Barr has been the bulk of the Penn State offense all year.
Two very dangerous return men for Pitt. Gordon Jones, a highly touted freshman, is back at the goal line along with Elliott Walker, who is Dorsett's running mate in the backfield.
Ray, this Gordon Jones can really fly. I would think they may kick away from him because he's one of the best kickoff returners in the nation and also one of the better split ends.
The football has not as yet been delivered to Penn State's Chris Barr. It's going to be a few seconds yet before the game gets underway. I do believe that this is one of the latest arriving crowds I've ever seen at a football game. It's entirely possible that a lot of folks were, there's Gordon Jones, a very talented young split end Max McGee was talking about, and football returner. I don't want to say just kickoff returner, because he's also a great punt returner. I think a lot of folks might have been watching Ohio State, Michigan, Max, the reason they're arriving so late.
I think that's right, and I'm sure that was quite a game, and I also think that this game is of equal importance. There's two bowl teams there, and there's two bowl teams here, so we're going to see football today like you haven't seen for a long time.
University of Pittsburgh won the toss, elected to receive. Chris Barr getting ready to kick it off to either Gordon Jones or Elliott Walker. A couple of speedsters with great moves. The football being delivered now to Chris Barr, and in a moment this capacity crowd at Three Rivers Stadium will let out with a roar as Pitt and Penn State go at it again for the championship of Pennsylvania. And as Max McGee put it, for among other things, the bragging rights for the next year. This is Elliott Walker at the 7. He's nailed at the 10 by Randy Sidler. So Pitt will start from the 10-yard line, and Sidler, Max, really covered that kickoff.
He did, Ray, and right off the bat, Joe Paterno had him kick into that corner away from Jones, and it worked out. It caught him inside the 10-yard line.
There's the Pitt backfield, the young sophomore quarterback, Matt Cavanaugh, with Dorsett the tailback, Walker the fullback, and Clark the wingback. Strong right formation. And Elliott Walker on the first carry gets about a yard, nailed by Ron Crosby. There's Pitt's offensive line, and this line did a great job against Notre Dame last week.
They're big, Ray, real big. Some of those 271-pound, about a 255 average per man in there.
First play gained a yard, second down 9 from the Pitt 11. This is Dorsett. First down. Mike Johnson, the cornerback, made the tackle. Well, Max McGee, there's your first look at Dorsett. He's something, isn't he?
What a way to start off the game. On his first carry, he gets about, how much yard?
30 yards.
30 yards, and of course a first down after they had stopped him on first down. This is going to be an exciting afternoon watching this young man.
All right, first down, Pitt at the Pitt 41 as Dorsett picks up 30 yards in his first carry. Gordon Jones is to the left. Rodney Clark to the right. And Walker is nailed by John Quinn right at the line of scrimmage. You may have lost a yard. Now Penn State defensively. Most of you are familiar with Ron Crosby of Glassport, John Quinn of Staten Island, New York, Ron Coder from State College, and Dennis Mugen of Shamokin. Clark goes left. There are the linebackers, Ollerman, Rosecrans. Second and 11. Dorsett. And he is really nailed by Tommy Odell, the defensive right halfback.
Ray, I really think this Penn State defense very outstanding, and they play the option as good as anybody I've seen all year.
I didn't get a chance to run down the linebackers. Jeff Height from Pittsburgh is starting in place of Hostetler, number 40. Greg Buttle, 67. Jim Rosecrans, 33. Kurt Ollerman, 53. Third down, 14. This is what Dorsett has done so far this season. What a catch. Might be a first down. Gordon Jones.
Tremendous catch, Ray. He went up in the air and survived after being really hit hard and hung on to that football. That's going to be a big play for Penn State, but I don't think they quite made it.
Fourth down, a half a yard. Here it is again now.
Gary Peter Kuski really unloaded on Gordon Jones, and he still hung onto the ball, and they're going for it.
Fourth down, a half a yard for a first down at the 49.5 of Penn State. First down, Matt Cavanaugh.
Okay, that was very risky, Ray, going down the line of scrimmage that way, but it worked, and that, of course, is all that matters.
Matt Cavanaugh, the sophomore quarterback, is from Youngstown, Ohio. And he gets a first down for Pitt at the Penn State 46. Rodney Clark to the left. Gordon Jones to the right. This is Dorsett. Dorsett gets nothing. Ron Coder, the senior from State College, made the tackle.
Well, as usual, the Penn State defense, the closer you get to the goal line, the tougher they get. And you're seeing them now playing as good as they can play, and they're well and ready to play. So I think we're going to see a good defensive effort from Penn State.
Willie Taylor, number 29, a sophomore split end, is going in wide to the right. He's out there along with Gordon Jones. Second down, 10. This is Dorsett. Dorsett gets 6 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4, and John Quinn made the tackle. Penn State secondary has Tommy Odell of Summit, New Jersey at the one corner, Mike Johnson of Steelton at the other corner, Gary Peter Kuski of Trenton, New Jersey is the safety man. Pitt, 3rd down 4, Penn State 40, 10:51 left first quarter, no score. Kavanaugh is nailed by John Quinn, and it's a 4th down.
Well, there you are again. That defense, when it gets time to do something, Penn State all year has been able to come up and make that big 3rd down play, and they did it again right there.
Larry Swider is the Pitt punter. Tommy Odell, single return man. John Quinn's the one made that last very big play on Kavanaugh. Odell at the 10, 15, 20, 21-yard line, maybe 22, where Mike Schaefer, a reserve center, moved him out of bounds. So Penn State has the football for the first time today, and there is the scheduled starting backfield for Penn State. Andrus of Greensburg, the quarterback. Woody Petchel starts at tailback, Dwayne Taylor at fullback. Dwayne Taylor is out for about 3 to 4 yards, where he ran into Randy Holloway.
You know, Ray, Rich Monty's back out there on the wing back. We haven't seen him for a while.
There's the Pitt defensive line. Randy Cousins, Don Parrish, Al Romano, Randy Holloway, and Ed Wilimowski. The linebackers and the defensive backs. Second and 7 is a Cephalo. Nailed by Don Parrish, the junior tackle.
Well, we were expecting to see Cephalo at tailback today and Rich Monty at wingback, and that's the way they're set up. And of course, Cephalo is bringing in the plays, alternating with Woody Petchel.
3rd down and about 10 from the Penn State 22. Barbanchak and Monty are wide to the left. It was intended for Dave Stutz, the tight end. Incomplete. 4th down. Chris Barr is in to punt. Now, when Barr punts, keep your eye on Pitt's number 24, Gordon Jones. Also with him is Dennis Moorhead, number 13. But Jones is deep. Fair catch, Gordon Jones, Pitt 41-yard line. With the score, Penn State nothing, Pitt nothing. We'll be back right after this. We of the Penn State Television Network really appreciate your letters of enthusiasm, letters that inspire all of us, including this great team. And if you'd like to show your support by wearing this authentic Penn State tassel cap and displaying this decal, all you have to do is send $5 to support Penn State Football Television Network. Gateway Towers, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the zip code is 15222. Pitt with the ball at the Pitt 41-yard line, 1st and 10. 8:47 left to play, first quarter, no score. Penn State unable to move the ball, its only possession. Pitt moved it fairly well first possession. But Penn State, as they've done so many times this year, stiffened when they had to.
I'm impressed, Ray, with the poise of Matt Kavanaugh. He throws the ball good, he runs the option good, and he's only a freshman.
This is Dorsett. Tommy Odell, the defensive halfback, runs Dorsett out of bounds after a gain of about 2. It is 2nd down and 8. We remind you that announcers on this telecast are contracted by Total Communication Systems. Any use of this program without the consent of Total Communication Systems is prohibited. There is Greensburg, Pennsylvania's John Andrus, the junior quarterback of Penn State. Wide left, Clark and Jones on 2nd down, 8. Fullback, Elliott Walker, who on his own, Max, I was just checking, he's gained over 700 yards this year. Walker.
I think it's a tribute to this offensive line of Pitt, who has opened a lot of holes this year. And, as I say, last week against Notre Dame, that offensive line was awesome.
For Pitt, 3rd down, 5 at the Pitt 46. Clark, the wingback, Jones, a split end, go to the wide side, the left. Kavanaugh. And he is nailed by Ron Coder. He had a screen, I think, set up off here to the right, didn't he, Max? And Penn State had it all figured out.
That's right. It was kind of a little bit of a trick play. He was going to roll one way and throw back, and, of course, Penn State smelled it out, and they caught him way back behind the line, and that ends another drive for Pittsburgh.
There's Ron Coder, who made that fine play on Kavanaugh. Larry Swider into punt. Tom Odell, single return man. Midway first quarter, no score at Three River Stadium, and the lights have been turned on. Fair catch, and Odell is at the Penn State 28-yard line. With the score, Pitt nothing, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Penn State has the ball for the second time today. 1st and 10, Penn State 28-yard line. 7:21 left first quarter, no score. Wide left is Monty. Wide right, Barbanchak. Cephalo gets 2 yards before Randy Holloway stopped him. Pitt defensively, in addition to the front 5, we've identified them for you. Wilimowski, Holloway, Romano, Parrish, and Cousins. The linebackers are Perko, 85, and Weatherington, 59, with Jeff Delaney as the monster back. He wears number 14. Defensive halfbacks, Larry Felton and Bob Jury, and the safety man, Dennis Moorhead. 2nd down, 8, Penn State at the Penn State 30. This is Barbanchak, and a Penn State first down at the 42-yard line.
Excuse me, Ray, that was a very well executed pass play there. The little turn in for the first down, he got the necessary yardage, and the ball was right on the money.
From the end zone now, watch it.
You can see here, he drove him back, got in that hole, and the ball was on the money, and you can't defense it if he runs it that way.
There's Dick Barbanchak, the high school quarterback, now receiver. Cephalo gets 7 yards before he's brought down by Arnie Weatherington, who has been outstanding as a linebacker for Pitt.
This will probably be the most extensive use at tailback that they've had from Jimmy Cephalo this year. He's been, of course, hampered by injuries all year, but they're expecting today to get him back in the form he showed in the Cotton Bowl last year.
2nd down, 3, Penn State at their own 49. A marker down as Dwayne Taylor, and I tell you, I think the left end might have lined up offside.
I didn't see it, Ray, but the marker probably looks like an offsides penalty.
Yes. Penn State offside, so the run of 2 yards would have brought up a 3rd and 1. Instead, it looks like it's going to be 2nd down and, about 8. Larry Suey checks in at fullback instead of Dwayne Taylor. Maudie goes out of the huddle and goes out wide to the right. Second and 8, Cephalo. It's going to be third down and about 6 as middle linebacker Al Romano and defensive end Ed Wilimowski made a fine play.
Well, you can see on the replay that they did play. The defense played this play very well, and it was only able to pick up a couple yards, but it was a good call.
New tight end, number 82, Mickey Schuler, on third down 6. This is for Schuler. Larry Felton was defending, but it's fourth down and about 6. Johnny Majors, the head coach of the University of Pittsburgh, many of you know, he's the young man, very youngish looking there, walking up the sideline with a dark sweater on. We'll get a better look at him later as Chris Barr is ready to punt. Gordon Jones, fair catch, and Pitt is back up at the Pitt 27-yard line. With the score, Penn State nothing and Pitt nothing. We'll be back right after this. Johnny Majors, his record, the young man from Tennessee who has led this Pitt football program back to very close to the heights it once enjoyed. University of Pittsburgh, first and 10 at the Pitt 27-yard line. 22-yard line, I'm sorry. 4:51 left to play first quarter. Matt Cavanaugh at quarterback. Cavanaugh still has it. And he gets about 5 yards before he ran into Ron Coder, number 65. Gain of 6 yards for the sophomore quarterback. Second down, 4.
Is he a sophomore? I called him a freshman. I thought he was a freshman.
Wide to the left is Willie Taylor and Gordon Jones. Elliott Walker nailed by Jim Rosecrans and Ron Crosby. Third down and about 3.5.
You know, believe it or not, it's a little bit cool up here in Pittsburgh for the first time this year. People are bundled up and they came prepared.
Third down, 3. Cavanaugh still has it. And John Quinn makes his second big play of the first quarter.
What great play they're getting out of that front four today, Ray. They've been, John Quinn and Coder, they've been all over the field. As a result, this has turned into nothing but a defensive battle. And, of course, I like those kind of games. Hard hitting right at the line of scrimmage.
Tom Odell back again as a single return man as Penn State has been getting increasingly better field position.
That's right. After that 30-yard run by Dorsett, they were kind of in the hole, but it's coming back now.
Larry Swider to punt.
Cover!
Odell at the 29. Marker down. Another marker. I believe that Dennis Mugin will be called for clipping.
I'm sure he will, Ray. We did hit him somewhat from behind and left his feet, and those being penalties. And I think you're going to see Penn State way back in the hole again.
They'll have to start from back around the 11 or 12-yard line with 3:04 left to play in the first quarter. Here it is.
You can get a bird's eye view of the clip right there. They had great kick coverage out of this Pitt coverage team. There was nowhere to go for Odell, and that, of course, that's what usually causes a clip when you don't have quite enough running room.
So first down, Penn State at the Penn State 12-yard line. Monty to the left. Dwayne Taylor gets about 3 yards, and Pitt is very tough defensively, led on that play by junior tackle Don Parrish.
I'd be a little doubtful if they're going to put the ball in the air too much this close to their own goal line. I think they may throw it, but if they do, I think it'll be a pass to a turn in or dump it to one of the backs, a real safe pass.
Cephalo at tailback. Monty wide right. Dwayne Taylor is nailed right up the line by Randy Holloway and Al Romano. So third down and 8. And we're going to have Mickey Schuler come in at tight end, number 82, as we look down the line at Joe Paterno and members of his staff. Barvinchak and Monty are wide to the left. This is Monty, and he has a first down out beyond the 30-yard line as cornerback Larry Felton and linebacker Tom Kirko teamed up to make the play. But a big third down play by quarterback John Andrus of Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
I had a great feeling that Rich Monty returning to this lineup was really going to help Penn State because he was their big playmaker before he got hurt, and having him back in there at flanker, you'll see a lot of him today.
Larry Suey at fullback, number 35. Cephalo ran into linebacker Arnie Wetherington. And so far, Penn State has not been able to move on the ground. Watch Wetherington now, number 59.
Wetherington is controlling that inside, and he's absolutely cut off Penn State's running. They're either going to have to block him or run outside or put the ball in the air on first down because they're getting nowhere against that young man.
Gain of 1, second down 9 as we look down the line at the University of Pittsburgh. This is for Monty.
What a try, Ray. He came so close and didn't quite control it, but a great pass and a great time to do it. He had him wide open. He just a hair longer, Monty would have had another big play.
Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 9 at the Penn State 33. Into the game, Tom Donovan, number 21. Monty, of course, would have to be winded after that very long pass pattern. So freshman Donovan from Northport, New York, replaces him. 3rd down, 9. A screen pass intended for Cephalo, but a big rush on Andrus. It is 4th down and 9.
Well, the screen was set up. It was overthrown. Otherwise, he had a chance for the first down. It was an excellent call, but like you say, those big defensive linemen got their hands up and forced John to overthrow.
1:08 left first quarter, no score. Gordon Jones back at the Pitt 30 for Barr's punt. Gordon Jones, and oh, did he take a chance that time and was nailed in his tracks among Franco Harris. What feeling do you get down along the sideline?
You hear so much about Pitt's offense, but you have to give a lot of credit to their defense. They're really containing Penn State, but however, Penn State really hasn't had much offense as of recently, and today they're not really moving the ball and they're not having the big play. They're going to have to get better field position if they want to do anything, and especially if they want to get some points by Barr. Back up to...
All right, Franco Harris. Pitt's going to have the ball at the Pitt 34-yard line. Tom Giotto made the tackle on that last punt, and I thought Jones took a tremendous chance in handling that punt.
He did, but he's that kind of ball player. He's got great hands. Ray, I've watched him catch passes, and I've watched him catch punts, and he has got a fantastic pair of hands, so I think he's sure-handed enough to take that chance.
Pitt ready to go from the Pitt 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Matt Cavanaugh on first down. And he's nailed by Ron Coder for a loss, and Penn State's front four is having an outstanding first quarter.
They sure are. He had number 81 wide open, but he couldn't get the ball to him. And that was Jim Corbett was open, but he just couldn't get the ball to him, and that's because of that big rush put on by the front four.
Loss of 9, second and 19 at the Pitt 26. Willie Taylor, wide right. Gordon Jones, wide right. Dorsett. He gets it to the 29-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 15 as Jeff Height and John Quinn teamed up to make the tackle.
You know, the thing about Dorsett, Ray, that I'm impressed with is all his moves are up the field. He doesn't waste any time zigging and zagging. He goes towards the goal line. That's what makes him such a great back. 3rd and 15.
Jones to the right. Taylor to the left. And there's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Penn State nothing and Pitt nothing. We'll be back right after this. For the second quarter. Pitt has a 3rd and 15 at the Pitt 30-yard line. Matt Cavanaugh. He's going deep for Gordon Jones and is way overthrown. Mike Johnson in pursuit. 4th down, punt formation time.
You could expect him to go long to Jones several times today because of his great speed and his great ability to catch the ball deep. And, of course, that was the first time he's gone long to Jones, but you'll see it again before this game's over.
Judy, thank you. Larry Swider, the Pitt punter, is from Rockton, Pennsylvania. He'll be punting to Rich Monty now will be the return man. He's down at the Penn State 25-yard line. At the 28. Oh, a marker is down at the 32-yard line of Penn State as Monty just literally refused to go down.
He sure did. The kick coverage today has been out of sight. Every punt has been covered well. The kickoffs have been covered well, and neither team has made a mistake. And that's unusual in a big battle like this where everybody's uptight and wants to win. There's been no turnovers yet.
Very unusual penalty. The team receiving the punt, Penn State, has been called for holding. And so a 15-yard penalty. With a score, Pitt nothing, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to the Pennsylvania Lottery's Lucky Lotto game, where you tune in and play at home for big money. Over 120,000 weekly winners with prizes to $10,000. And finalists compete on the tube for up to $5,000 plus $500 a month for life. It's Play TV, so buy your $1 tickets and tune in Thursday nights.
Lucky Lotto.
You could really clean up.
Andrus rolled right and hit Dwayne Taylor coming out of the backfield, and result is a Penn State first down at the Penn State 28-yard line. Dwayne Taylor immediately leaves the game, is replaced by Larry Suey at fullback. Woody Petchel is in a tailback now. Petchel is met by Al Romano, Pitt's talented middle guard.
Well, it's been a defensive struggle. Penn State is really having trouble running inside. They're not getting the usual blocking that they get from that front four. As you can tell by the stats, there's not much going on.
Pitt controlling the football, but neither team has been able to threaten to the extent that a field goal has been attempted. Monty to the right, Barbanchak to the left. Second down, 10. Intended for Mickey Schuler, the tight end. It is going to be third down and 10. Andy Bailey, the Penn State Nittany Lion. One of the few days this season that Nittany Lion uniform would be welcome, I believe, Max.
I think so, Ray. In fact, today I wouldn't mind having one myself.
Third down 10 as Dave Stutz checks in at tight end. Stutz is lined up on the right side. Petchel. First down.
What a call that was, Ray. A little quick trap caught Penn State, Pittsburgh by surprise, and he got a first down on 3rd and 11 by running the ball. So that's a big break for Penn State, and it puts them in the best position they've been in today. At
the Penn State 41-yard line, 1st and 10. Dwayne Taylor returns at fullback. The junior from Crabtree. Monty goes left. Larry Felton, the defensive halfback, moves out with him. Dwayne Taylor. He ran into Perko and Wetherington. He got a couple of yards on the play before being thrown back out to the 44-yard line, and it's going to be second down 7.
Well, I'll say one thing. Both these teams are going to a bowl game, and if they play like they play today, then somebody in those bowls better be ready for a whale of a football game.
Barbanchak and Monty go wide right on second down 7. A loose football. It is ruled to have been a forward pass. Incomplete pass. No fumble. It will be third down and 7.
I think it was a good call, Ray. I know he wanted it back, but couldn't quite grab it. He took a...
Chuck Fusina, the freshman from McKees Rocks. Max McGee had mentioned he wouldn't be surprised to see him today, and here he is.
This young man can throw the football, and it looks like Penn State is going to have to throw just a little bit more than they wanted to.
Fusina is nailed at the 45 by defensive halfback Larry Felton. And it is 4th down and punt formation time. 12:20 left in the first half. No score or threat of a score. And dangerous Gordon Jones goes back for Pitt. Fair catch. Pitt 26-yard line by Dennis Moorhead. With the score, Penn State nothing and Pitt nothing. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to the Pennsylvania Lottery's Lucky Lotto game, where you tune in and play at home for big money. Over 120,000 weekly winners with prizes to $10,000. And finalists compete on the cube for up to $5,000 plus $500 a month for life. It's Play TV, so buy your $1 tickets and tune in Thursday nights. Lucky Lotto. You could really clean up.
Oh. If you have a head for cars, head for Dodge.
My Dodge Colt wagon has a lift-up door.
Instead of 2 Chargers, now there's 4.
Cornet gives you a beautiful ride.
And the wagon has a place for stuff you want to hide.
If you have a head for cars, head for Dodge.
Maxi wagon, 15 people big. Ram Charger takes a towing rig.
Starts pretty small, but it still holds 6.
Get a Charger Daytona and get some kicks.
If you have a head for cars, head for your local Dodge dealer.
Capacity crowd at Three River Stadium, Pittsburgh. 1st and 10 Pitt. Ball at the Pitt 27-yard line. 12:03 left to play in the first half. No score or threat of a score. And we've had no turnovers so far, Max.
That's right. That's a surprising thing. You know, Dwayne Taylor now is the 10th all-time leading rusher for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Matt Cavanaugh. This is Dorsett. Dorsett picks up about, maybe 6 yards before Gary Peter Kuski out of the secondary made the tackle. To the Pitt 32-yard line, gain of 5, 2nd down 5.
This Dorsett runs strong. He really, last week against Notre Dame, it was unbelievable, 374 yards. That's a good season for a lot of people I know.
2nd and 5, Pitt at the Pitt 32. Elliott Walker gains 3. It's going to be 3rd down and about 2 for Pitt as Crosby and Coder of the front 4 made the stop. Penn State with Smugin, Coder, Quinn, and Crosby up front. Height instead of Hostetler, who has not played today. Buttle, Rosecrans, and Alderman. 3rd and 2 Pitt. Dorsett. 1st down. At the Pitt 40. Tackled by Jeff Height and Dennis Smugin, but a Pitt 1st down.
That's one of the few first downs we've had in this quarter, and maybe the first down. And there's Chuck Casina warming up. I think we're going to see him. We're going to see if they can move the ball through the air, and I think you'll see more of him because he's warming up his arm.
1st and 10 at the Pitt 40. 10:40 left first half, no score. This is Walker getting about 4 yards, and Pitt's offensive line of Hanhauser, Carroll, Pelusi, Berzosa, and Stone appear to be coming off the ball the last couple of plays better than they had in the first quarter.
They really have. I think they're settling down a little bit. Even though there was no turnovers, they were uptight beginning this game because to Pittsburgh, this is the biggest game they've had in a long time. The first time they've had an opportunity to really rule the roost in the East.
2nd down, 6. Cavanaugh gets 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the Pitt 49 as Quinn, John Quinn, and Jeff Height brought him down.
Jimmy Rosecrans had a shot at him for a loss, and he kind of went headhunting there and forgot to get the rest of the body. As a result, he ended up making some yardage.
Let's call it 3rd down and 3 at the Pitt 48. To the right, Rodney Clark and Gordon Jones. This is Corbett, the tight end. Mike Johnson makes the tackle at the Penn State 33. Penn State was blitzing that time, and I think it cost him.
That's right. It forced him into a man-to-man defense, and he runs a nice pattern, and good hit but it was just a little late. And anytime you blitz, you got to look out because you're man-to-man and you can get hurt.
1st and 10 at the Penn State 33. Cavanaugh. Greg Buttle brings him down inside the 20.
Well, the first big offensive move has been made by Pitt. Penn State hasn't been able to move the ball, and neither is Pitt, but all at once Pitt is really rolling down the field. But right here is where Penn State plays their best football, from the 20-yard line to the goal line. It's awfully tough.
Joe Paterno's record at Penn State, the winningest coach in college football. 1st down Pitt at the Penn State 17. This is Dorsett. He gets 2.5 yards. Greg Buttle was there, and Tommy Odell was there. Marker down. Clipping Pitt. Costly penalty against the University of Pittsburgh.
Must have been on a crackback block off of that sweep they just ran. Ray, I didn't see it, but that is costly because They've got a good field goal kicker, but his range is not quite as long as Chris Barr's, and it might put him back out of field goal range.
Clipping is signaled, and Ron Hostetler comes in at right linebacker, number 38, in place of Jeff Height. Bob Hutton, number 44, is in at fullback instead of Elliott Walker for Pitt. For the Panthers, it is a first down, and they must reach the 7-yard line. So it's about 1st and 22. Marker down.
Pitt
Matt
jumped offside.
Carroll, I think Matt Carroll, the offensive left guard, made a premature move, and this will cost Pitt another 5 yards.
What started out as a drive to the goal line is turned in reverse, and they're back where they started from.
Rodney Clark will come out, and Willie Taylor will check in at flanker. Taylor, number 29. It is 1st and 26 at the Penn State 33. 8:25 left, first half, no score. Corbett, the tight end, is off to the right. Matt Cavanaugh. And linebacker Kurt Allerman really met Tony Dorsett in the open.
You know, last week, Dorsett came into his own as a pass receiver, as we saw in those stats a while ago, and they were getting the ball to him out in that flat, and he was running with the ball. That time, though, a great tackle, and it was all over.
Second down, 22 at the Penn State 29. Midway in the second quarter. Jones and Taylor come to the left. Matt Cavanaugh, a lot of time, intercepted by Hostetler. Ron Hostetler intercepts. And the first turnover of the game belongs to Penn State.
Matt Cavanaugh overthrew considerably there, and any overthrow into that zone defense, you can look for an interception. Of course, Hostetler being alert, he came up with the big play for Penn State again.
Now let's see who the Penn State quarterback will be with Penn State in possession at the Penn State 28. With the score, Penn State nothing and Pitt nothing. We'll be back right after this. Penn State, Andrus at quarterback from the Penn State 29. This is Cephalo. Fine play by Jeff Delaney, the monster back who does a lot of roaming defensively, and he spotted Cephalo, and result, loss of a yard.
He really saved the day, Ray. What a good screen they had set up, and he was the only man that they didn't get. If they get him, that was a big gainer for Cephalo.
Loss of 1 because of the great play by Delaney, and it's 2nd down 11. Marvin Chack is off to the left. This is the tight end. Fumble, Pitt has it. Nicky Schuler fumbles, Pitt recovers. Dennis Moorhead.
Well, it was a great pass and a great catch, but he lost it on the way down, and of course that's a fumble, and now turnover apiece for both teams makes it about even.
As a result of the fumble recovery, here's the play again now.
See, he's on target. Good catch. Gets control and loses it almost after he hit it. It's very close as to whether that was actually a fumble, but it was.
Tony Dorsett. Fumble. Was the play dead? The ball is ruled to have been dead at the Penn State 37.
Well, it's a little bit strange, Ray, because of the last call was a fumble and that one wasn't. You kind of have to wonder which official was looking at it.
So Pitt still has the ball with a first down at the Penn State 38. 6:25 left to play first half.
Joe Paterno didn't look like he liked that call particularly, Ray.
Elliott Walker. Touchdown.
Well, when you got two explosive backs like Walker and Dorsett, this can happen, and it did right there. And off he went to the races, and it's now 6-0. Pittsburgh's ahead.
Walker from Miami, Florida, puts Pitt on the board. It's a 6-0 game. 6:06 left to play in the first half. And Carson Long, who has not missed an extra point this season, will try for Pitt's 7th point. Pitt's punter, Larry Swider, will be the holder.
They're still congratulating Elliott Walker on a sensational run to put this game.
Tommy Odell blocks it. With the score, Pitt 6 and Penn State 0. We'll be back right after this.
We can watch Tommy Odell block this kick. This early in the game, sometimes you don't get as much significance out of it as it might be at the end of the game, because a block to extra point right now, it really hurts.
Tommy Odell, the defensive halfback from Summit, New Jersey. Monty, Donovan, and Taylor back for the kickoff from Carson Long. 6:06 remaining in the first half as Pitt strikes first on a run by Elliott Walker. No return, and Penn State must start from the Penn State 20. John Andrus will be at quarterback. We saw freshman Chuck Fusina on just one play so far today. We've had a lot of alternating at running backs. We've had Petchel, Suey, Taylor, Cepalo. Motti and Barbanchak are wide right. Loose football. I think Petchel got it back. Oh, Woody Petchel fumbled and gets it back.
But after we said no turnovers, it seemed like they've been playing basketball. So today we've had about 4 turnovers, and the ball's getting a little slippery.
Loss of a yard, 2nd down, 11. Mickey Schuler brings in a play, the sophomore tight end from Enola, number 82. Again, Barbanchak and Motti are out to the right. 2nd and 11. This is complete to the fullback, Larry Suey, and it's a Penn State first down. I believe it's a first down. It's very close to a first down. No, it's going to be 3rd and about 1.
It was very close, and that you saw John Andrus put the ball right on the button to Suey, who has been one of his, he likes to throw the ball to Suey when he's in there.
Double tight ends. Schuler and Stutz are in the game. 3rd and 1, Penn State 29. has a first down just across the 30 where he met Romano and Parrish. First down, Penn State.
Well, this Pittsburgh defense is not giving up anything. They're playing as good as we've seen defensive play all year, and Penn State is going to have to get some more yardage on first down to be able to control this game.
Petchel, fumble, Penn State recovers. My goodness sakes.
It's unusual to see Woody Petchel fumble the last 2 times he ran the ball, and that fumble, of course, he had a big gain. He lost about 5 of it back on the fumble, but that's unusual to see Woody Petchel fumble the ball twice.
Offensive right tackle George Reiner of Washington, PA, recovered it. Gain on the play, 7 yards, 2nd and 3 at the Penn State 37. Time is becoming a bit of a factor here. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. 6-0 Pitt. Cephalo. He's close to a first down around the 40 in the grass, but who else? Junior Arnie Wetherington.
Arnie Wetherington is playing some kind of game today. He's been on anything is in the middle. Arnie has been around that ball.
Cephalo leaves. Petchel comes in. Stutz and Schuler will both be in. 3rd down and less than 1 for a first down. Petchel gets his first down at the 42-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 3:41 remaining in the half. Jeff Delaney, Pitt's so-called monster team, comes back. He left in a short yardage situation as Pitt put in an additional down lineman. Joe Stone, who plays offense, came in. First down. Rich Maudie gets about 5 yards to the 46-yard line, where Ed Wilimowski made the tackle.
You know, it's unusual for Penn State to play this long and not even get Chris Barr in position for a field goal. I don't think they've crossed the 50-yard line yet, and if they do now, it will be the first time in the game.
Donovan to the right, Barbanchak to the right. Andrus is nailed for a loss by Randy Cousins, the defensive end, number 84.
Well, that sure didn't help their drive right there. Now it's 3rd and 12, and that gives the opportunity for the defensive line of Pittsburgh to really tee off on here, looking for a pass, and it makes it much harder to block. Last time in this particular instance, though, they ran a quick trap, and it worked very well.
3rd and 12 at the Penn State 40. 2:15 remaining in the first half. Marker down. Almost intercepted by Larry Felton, but a marker down at the Penn State 33. It's against Penn State. 4th down coming up. I'd have to believe that Pitt might decline the penalty.
I think so, because they want the ball. It's still 2 minutes. They get any kind of run back, they feel like they can get something else on the scoreboard.
Jones back. Moorhead back. Almost blocked. It'll be down at the Pitt 22-yard line with 1:58 remaining in the first half. If you joined us along the way, Pitt is leading 6-0 on a run by Elliott Walker. Well, Max, Pitt has certainly controlled the football, and it's shown in the... Pitt has gained 135 yards running, Penn State but 46.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Pittsburgh has controlled the game, and this hasn't been that unusual against Penn State this year. They've been they've been had the ball controlled against them before and still won on the scoreboard. And of course, when it's only 6-0 and you've been somewhat dominated, then you can expect the second half to be a different story.
Franco, any moisture down on the playing field?
Now, the field's pretty dry, but it is cold down here, and you can feel it on the sidelines. Well, we got to get this Penn State adrenaline going.
Okay, Franco Harris. 1st and 10. University of Pittsburgh at the Pitt 22-yard line with 1:58 remaining in the first half. To the right, Willie Taylor. Taylor to the right. Jones to the left. 1st and 10, Pitt at the Pitt 22. Tony Dorsett. Dorsett gets it out to the 30 for a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2, and Jim Rosecrans made the tackle. Pitt has not used any of its timeouts.
It's amazing when Dorsett gets the ball. He looked like he's making 3 yards, and he ends up making 8 yards because he has great moves. You can't get a straight shot at him.
2nd and 2. Here's Dorsett. And he does not get the first down because Dennis Smugin made a fine defensive play. It's going to be 3rd and 1.5. And I'm still surprised, Max, that Pitt has not asked for a timeout.
Evidently, I think they're satisfied to go in at 6-0. I'm a little bit surprised maybe that Penn State don't call timeout and force them to punt.
A minute left in the half. Dorsett gets a first down. That stops the clock at the Pitt 37. Kurt Ollerman made the tackle, but the clock stops with 50 seconds remaining in the half. And Pitt now does ask for a timeout, and that means that sophomore quarterback Matt Cavanaugh, 6'2", 195 from Youngstown, Ohio, will come over and talk with the Pitt head coach Johnny Majors and company. Can you look forward to the second half, Max? Do you see any adjustments that Penn State's going to have to make to move the football?
Well, Ray, I think offensively they can make some adjustments. Number one, like I say, first down, I think they've got to get the ball maybe outside or throw the ball. They've been successful throwing the ball. They've had some fumbles after the reception, but the funny thing about this game, you take away that one run by Walker, and it's 0-0. So actually, it's been a defensive struggle all the way.
Kurt Farmer, a wide receiver, senior from Los Angeles, has moved in now for Pitt, number 17. It's 1st and 10 Pitt at the Pitt 38-yard line with 50 seconds remaining in the first half. And Matt Cavanaugh rejoins the Pitt.
Well, they've decided now on the sideline with the coach, they're going to try to get something. I'll start using their timeouts and see if they can get something on the scoreboard.
Oh, a dangerous pass. Greg Buttle almost intercepted. Tony Dorsett, the intended receiver, but Cavanaugh threw that into a crowd.
He did. He was trying to sneak a little pass over the middle to Dorsett and let him run with the ball, and Greg Buttle almost picked it off. In fact, him right. We'll watch Buttle. No, I don't guess we will.
2nd down and 10. 45 seconds now remaining in the half. Here comes Dorsett. Oh, he's met by Ron Coder and Johnny Bush out of the secondary. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 at the Pitt 40. And Dorsett is very, very slow in getting up. He really was nailed by Coder. And Pitt asks for a timeout. So the Panthers have just one timeout remaining. The lights were turned on here at Three Rivers Stadium shortly after the game got underway. And it's getting colder by the minute.
I think it's I think they're going to have a little freeze here in Pittsburgh tonight, Ray. It's not freezing on that field. This has been about a hotly contested football game as we've seen all year because the hitting is awesome.
In the way of passing, Penn State's completed 4 out of 10, Pitt 3 of 6. In 1 interception. That by linebacker Ron Hostetler of a Matt Cavanaugh pass. 3rd down, 8 coming up. 17 seconds left in the half. John Bush is in at defensive halfback instead of Tommy Odell. Bush from Derry, Pennsylvania. Third and 8. This is for Dorsett, and it is intercepted by Mike Johnson, and Tony Dorsett makes the tackle at the Penn State 28-yard line with 10 seconds left in the half.
I think they felt, Ray, like that was almost like a punt. He threw it up for grabs, not really wanting to give it a chance to catch it, but if he didn't figure he was hurt too bad. If it's intercepted, there's only 10 seconds left.
There it is again.
Right, that was definitely thrown up for grabs.
Immediately, timeout was called by Penn State's Gary Peterkuski. So we're in the midst of a Penn State timeout with 10 seconds left in the first half. Penn State now has 2 timeouts remaining. Pitt leading on Elliott Walker's touchdown run in a game where ball possession has been solidly on the side of the Pitt Panthers. Incidentally, at halftime, we're going to get a chance to visit with the president of the, well, I like to say Sugar Bowl Committee. I know it has a much more formal name than that. We'll get around to that when we talk with Mr. Cliff Kern. Right now, Penn State, 1st and 10 at the Penn State 28-yard line. Dwayne Taylor on what I'm sure was the final play of the half. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. The end of the first half with a score. The University of Pittsburgh 6, Penn State University nothing. We'll be back right after this. For a minute, Cliff, but we've invited folks to write us letters this season, and they've responded in just a great number. And to show you that we read those letters, you asked that we repeat a certain special feature, and we're going to do it right now. Just about ready for the second half. A very definite chill has settled over Three Rivers Stadium here in Pittsburgh. Penn State will receive the second half kickoff, and Max McGee, it would appear to me that we should know in a hurry just what Penn State's strategy is going to be. We noticed that both Chuck Fusina and John Andrus were warming up a few moments ago.
Well, number one, Ray, like I said, first down, you've got to get some yardage, whether it's throwing the ball or running the ball. In order to get good field position, you got to make something on first down.
Penn State will receive the second half kickoff from Pitt's Carson Long. Pitt leading 6-0. Pitt in total command in the statistics the first half. Monty, Taylor, and Donovan are back for Carson Long's anticipated kickoff as we get ready for the second half. Lights, of course, have been turned on, what with this late start here at Three Rivers Stadium. As Joe Paterno, who has not seen his Penn State team lose to Pitt since 1965. 9 consecutive wins, Max McGee, for Penn State in this long and great series.
Joe Paterno hasn't seen many people beat him in the last 10 years, Ray, and of course Pitt hasn't touched him since 1965, and there's a lot of football left here. Pitt's ahead 6-0, but we're going to see a lot more football before this day is over.
Okay, we're ready for the second half. Maudie at the 10. He gets it out to the 22-yard line, where he's brought down by Randy Holloway, one of the Pitt front four on defense. So now let's see who will be the quarterback. It'll be John Andrus. And time remains. Time will tell whether it's going to be, instead of Suey at fullback, it'll be Taylor. Petchel at tailback. Dwayne Taylor gets it out across the 25-yard line, where he met linebacker Tom Perko. So on first down, 3 yards, second down, 7.
Ray, I kind of expect to see somewhere along the line to get a little more use out of Rich Maudie. He's made a couple of catches already, and he has been a big playmaker. And I think somewhere along the line he's going to have a factor in this game. So I'm going to keep my eye on him.
Barbanchak and Maudie are off to the right of Andrus. Woody Petchel. Petchel gets it out to within about a yard of a first down at the 31-yard line as cornerback Larry Felton, number 28. There's the Pitt defensive line, which was so outstanding in the first half.
Well, the first down here would sure help, because Penn State having to punt right off the bat is not good for the morale. I think they really need this first down.
Double tight end, 3rd and 1, Penn State 31. They do not get the first down. Woody Petchel is nailed short. It is 4th down and punt formation time. And Tom Perko led the defensive charge for Pitt.
This Pitt team is inspired. They came out in the second half just like they came out at the beginning of the game. Very much inspired and playing outstanding football.
Gordon Jones back to receive. Jones, a Bearcat signal at the last instant at the Pitt 30-yard line. So the Panthers have it 1st and 10 at the Pitt 31-yard line. Matt Cavanaugh, quarterback the Pitt Panthers the entire first half. Dorsett, 33. Walker, Elliott Walker, who scored the touchdown, number 34. Rodney Clark and Willie Taylor have alternated at flanker, and it's Rodney Clark. Dorsett glides for 2, where he ran into John Quinn. Second down, 8, Pitt 33. Penn State linebackers, Jeff Height 40, Greg Buttle 67, Jim Rosecrans 33, Kurt Allerman 53. Dorsett. He's out around the 37-yard line where Greg Buttle made the play, and it's going to be 3rd down, 4. Dorsett today, 14 carries, 80 yards. Walker today, 7 carries, 47 yards. Clark and Jones are off to the right. Marker down. Jim Corbett, the intended receiver. Buttle defending. Let's see what the officials have. Defensive interference. First down, Pitt.
They had Kurt Allerman on one side of him and Buttle on the other side. Evidently, one of them must probably Allerman right here, probably went after the ball a little too soon, and they called interference. But a very close call, and those are always judgment calls. And in this case, the judgment official, it was interference.
1st and 10, Pitt at the Pitt 45. Marker down as Cavanaugh is nailed by Ron Crosby. But a marker is down at the 38-yard line of Pitt. Holding Pitt.
Well, that'd be a big call for Penn State because what they need here is a punt and better field position from the start. If they can force them back this 15 yards and then hold them back there, force them to kick, they might have the field position they need to really get some of their offense going.
The holding infraction occurred at the 38, so Pitt is backed up to the Pitt 23 with just a little less than 12 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Tommy Odell, who was rested at the end of the first half, is back in at defensive left halfback. Walker nailed after a gain of 2 by John Quinn. Well, let's see, Max. Pitt must come up with 25, 30 yards. It's second down and 30.
There's not many plays in the playbook that come up with 30 yards right off the bat, so I think they might try to pick up a little of it at a time, like about a screen or a draw.
Dorsett. Pitt still has the football. Tommy Odell tried to shake it loose, and it's out at the 39-yard line where it's going to be third down and 17.
Forget what I said about a little at a time. Anytime you got Tony Dorsett, you get a lot at a time, as you can see right there. With his kind of speed and action, he can go all the way on any play.
Third down, 17. He does not get a first down, but he does get 8 yards, does Matt Cavanaugh. Tony Dorsett now, as I'm sure you noted, has outgained Penn State by about 2 to 1.
You know, Ray, after all the good backs we've seen this year, including Archie Griffin and Collins from Kentucky, I'm more impressed with the moves of young Tony Dorsett than any back I've seen this year.
Larry Swider to punt. Rich Motti returned. Motti at the 15. Pitt's Mike Balzer made a beautiful defensive play. With the score, Pitt 6, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Joe Paterno, Max, hasn't had too much to be happy about today.
He sure hasn't, except his defense has played so well, and the offense has really put a lot of pressure on the defense, so he can be very proud of his defensive team today. Of course, Johnny Majors can be proud of his team also.
First down. Jeff Delaney, the monster back, was blitzing. Loss of 7. It is 2nd and 17.
There was nobody there to pick him out. Evidently, they were trying to get everybody out of the backfield into the pass pattern. As a result, a blitz just wiped out their chances for field position.
Mickey Schuler comes in at tight end as Pitt continues to play truly inspired defense. A good gain as Andrus brings it out to the 24-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and about 4.
They got the block that time on the cornerback that they needed the last time, and Andrus got it back in a position where they got a chance for 1st down. Chuck Messina warming up. This young man can throw the football, and I got a feeling if John don't get something going here, we're going to see it.
3rd and 3.5. Cephalo and Tom Perko made a fine play, and it's 4th down. So this dangerous Pitt offense is going to get the football again with about 9 minutes now left in the 3rd quarter. Gordon Jones back to receive a punt. Jones is back at the, well, it's out of bounds inside the 40, so that we will not have any run back. Matt Cavanaugh, since taking over at quarterback for Pitt from Robert Haygood, has truly been outstanding for the University of Pittsburgh, and he's only a sophomore, number 12, at the Pitt 35. Dorsett trying to get outside. No gain. Dennis Mugen played that option play perfectly.
I think I said earlier in the game that I think Penn State plays that option as good as anybody I've seen in college football. There, every once in a while it breaks, but normally they play that thing to the hilt.
Number 66, Tony Petruccio, a freshman from Levittown, is in instead of Quinn at left tackle for Penn State. 2nd down, 10, Pitt. Dorsett, 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 7. He ran into linebacker Jim Rosecrans.
They're asking this Penn State defense to do a lot, and they're doing it. They stopped, other than that one run, they have stopped Pittsburgh pretty much all day, but unfortunately the offense has not got anything going at all.
Wide right, Rodney Clark and Gordon Jones. Split left, Jim Corbett, Pitt's top receiver. 3rd and 7. Kurt Ollerman almost had an interception. I think he ran into Greg Buttle.
He was back there, and it hit him right in the hands, and I think you're right. I think he might have clipped Buttle a little bit, just caused him to take his eye off the ball, and he missed a big chance for an interception.
Rich Monty is back for Larry Swider's anticipated punt.
Can you turn her around?
7:28 left in the 3rd quarter. Now Peter Kuski is back along with Monty. Swider is nailed by Ron Coder at the Pitt 26-yard line.
Well, it seems like it happens that way. I cannot, till this day, figured out why he didn't kick the ball, because the snap wasn't bad. I don't think he was trying to run the ball. I really don't understand it. Maybe we'll catch it on a replay.
At any rate, this is as far as Penn State has been today. Woody Petchel to the 23-yard line. He ran into tackle Don Parrish. It'll be 2nd down, 7. Here comes Mickey Schuler with a play call. 7 minutes left, 3rd quarter. This is the only threat so far for Penn State today.
It was made possible, of course, by the defense, and the defense today has been outstanding.
Petchel, fumble. Pitt has the football. Randy Holloway.
These Pitt fans are going crazy. This is the first opportunity they've had to beat Penn State in so long, and they're really having a ball right now.
First and 10, Pitt at the Pitt 23. So Penn State's defense, beleaguered all day, is back on the field. Elliott Walker gets about 5 yards before he ran into Otterman and Crosby. Second down, 5. Dorsett to the 29. It'll be 3rd and 4. He ran into Tony Petruccio.
Well, there's been some gang tackling today by this Penn State defense, and that's kept Dorsett pretty much in check. And we continue to see Lucina warming up, but we've yet to see him in the game other than a couple of times earlier.
For Pitt, 3rd down and 4. 5:50 left in the 3rd quarter. Dorsett couldn't quite hold on to the football. 4th down, and it looks like Penn State will get it again. Motti will be back. Peter Custy will be back. Penn State has been using just a single return man most of the day. Motti. Pitt has done about as good a job of covering punts today as we've just seen all season long. And right now, we tell you with the score, Pitt 6 and Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Penn State has a 1st and 10 at the Penn State 28-yard line with 5:30 left in the 3rd quarter. Pitt is leading 6-0. Penn State has had but one opportunity, but lost the ball on a fumble immediately after getting the ball. Steve Geis at tailback, 29. Chuck Fusina at quarterback, number 14. Short gain, 31-yard line, where Al Romano really hit Fusina hard.
I think Fusina made a good decision, though, Ray. They were covered. He tucked it under and ran and made a couple of yards, but they did have him covered downfield.
Suey leaves in favor of Dwayne Taylor. Gain of 4, gain of 3. 2nd down, 7 at the Penn State 31. Motti goes to the left. Dwayne Taylor gets to the 33-yard line, where it will be 3rd and 5. And sophomore Randy Holloway, number 70, made the play for Pitt.
It's still tough running in that middle. They've been most unsuccessful there today, but they're not giving up. They're still running in the middle, but I'd like to see the ball in the air.
Schuler will be the tight end. 3rd down, 5. Motti, and he has a 1st down with a great effort at the 39-yard line.
gave a little ground in order to get that first down, but he came back and got it, and that's a good first down for Penn State because they haven't been able to make that third down play, and over the course of the end, they did.
Time left in the third quarter, 4 minutes, 25 seconds. The clock is running. Barbanchak and Motti are wide to the left. Dwayne Taylor, the ball not thrown very well. I think it hit him around the left hip.
Right, he was thrown a little behind him, and that's a very hard pass to catch when you're running away from the ball, and he couldn't hold on to it.
So now for Penn State, 2nd and 10 at the Penn State 39. No team has handled Penn State the way this Pitt defense has handled them today.
You're absolutely right about that, bro.
Steve Geis is met by Wetherington after a gain of a yard. It'll be 3rd down and about 9.
It seems as though Pitt is beating the offensive line to the snap there because they're beyond that line of scrimmage almost before the quarterback can hand off the ball.
I think you can hear this partisan Pitt crowd, largely partisan Pitt crowd, urging the defense on as Penn State comes up to a 3rd and 9. Very close to a first down is Chuck Ducena.
Ray, I think they're almost in a position where even if it's not a first down, they might take a 4th down pop at it because they're right at the 50-yard line, and they really need a first down here. So I think first down or not, they'll probably go for it.
I'm going to make a guess, Max. I say they made a first down by 3 inches.
Well, you're not going to be more than 2 inches off. Off. It was 5 inches right on the button.
For one of the few times today, Penn State has been able to put together back-to-back first downs. This one comes with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Steve Geis is at the Pitt 47.5. Change defensively for Pitt. Defensive right end now, number 60, Cecil Johnson in place of Ed Wilimowski. David Logan is in at tackle on the left side, number 78, and he just made that tackle, but he's immediately replaced by Don Parrish. Geis picked up 3 yards. It is 2nd and 7. Motti, the usually sure-handed Rich Motti, couldn't hold on at the Pitt 43.
Oh, I know the feeling, Ray. He was looking it in and just so eager to run to make the first down that he took his eye off it just before it got there, and that happens so often in that situation.
3rd down, 7. Barbanchak, the intended receiver, he was hit by Bob Jury, and it's 4th down.
Ducena's been on target. They're having a little trouble holding on. Actually, that ball could have been caught right at the sideline, and it would have been a first down. So Chuck Ducena's on target, and I'm sure eventually they'll start catching him.
Now Chris Barr will try to pin Pitt deep with Gordon Jones back to receive. 2:14 left to play in the third quarter. I don't know why the official timeout, but we have one. Everything okay now. at the Pitt 9-yard line. With a score, Pitt 6 and Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Following the punt by Chris Barr, Pitt is backed up to the Pitt 8.5-yard line. 2:04 left third quarter. 1st and 10 Pitt. Dorsett has gained 107 yards and 20 carries. Walker 49 yards in 8 carries. Cavanaugh has completed 3 of 9 passes. Dorsett. Petruccio nails him from behind for a slight loss. Freshman Tony Petruccio.
Everybody they put in that defensive line today has played very well, and you've got to be awfully quick to catch Tony Dorsett from behind, but you saw it right there. And I can't say enough about how this Penn State defense has actually kept Dorsett pretty much in check, even though he's made 100 yards.
2nd and 10. Walker is nailed by Jim Rosecrans at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 3rd and 10. When the next time the ball is snapped, only about a minute will remain in the 3rd quarter.
Okay, this is going to boil down to a whale of a 4th quarter, because Penn State holding him here now will probably have excellent field position and could get back in this ball game awfully fast.
3rd down and 9. Here goes Dorsett. He's nailed inside the 15, and Penn State's going to get the football. And Greg Buttle was number 1 in meeting Dorsett after a gain of 3 yards.
Greg Buttle came into this game with something like 119 tackles leading Penn State, and he's a true All-American, right in the mold of the Penn State linebackers. Here he is, and he's a true All-American, loves to play football, and he plays it as good as anyone.
Larry Swider is back in the end zone. Oh, high snap. I don't know how he ever got that kick away.
Very strange. Again, he runs out of the trouble and kicks the ball on the run, and was extremely fortunate to get that kick off.
He got it out to the 47-yard line. The 47-yard line of Pitt with 14 seconds left in the 3rd period. This is about the best field position Penn State has had, except for the time that Swider was tackled in punt formation.
That's right. Facina's still at quarterback, and he doesn't mind throwing the ball at all.
This is for Donovan. Intercepted by Bob Jury.
Well, they went for the downs right off the bat, trying to get even in one play, and it was a little bit underthrown, and an excellent defensive play. And now Pitt has the ball right back where they just gave it up, so 1st and 10 Pitt. You can see it here. The ball on a pass like that, Ray, you've got to throw that ball to the outside, because if you throw it inside, it gives that defensive man too much of an advantage.
Bob Jury of Library, PA, made the interception. 1st and 10 Pitt at the Pitt 11. Elliott Walker to the 14. And that was the final play of the 3rd quarter. with a score. Pitt 6, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. "15 minutes of action remain here at Three Rivers Stadium. Pitt has a second down, 7 at the Pitt 14-yard line. Cavanaugh. What a run by Matt Cavanaugh.
3 missed tackles. He ran through 3 batch of arms there to make the big first down there, including Greg Buttle and some other Penn State. A great run by Cavanaugh.
Pitt's edge not as pronounced as at the end of the first half, at the end of 3 quarters. But a big first down at the Pitt 26 by Matt Cavanaugh. Elliott Walker ran into Allerman and Crosby. Very short gain to the 28-yard line of 2, second down 8. Ron Hostetler replaces Jeff Height at right linebacker. To the wide side goes Rodney Clark. To the near side is Gordon Jones. Cavanaugh lost to the 23-yard line. It's going to be third down and 13. Ron Coder and Steve Wanamaker made that play.
He had plenty of time to throw it, but good defensive coverage left him no one to throw with. He had to run the ball, and Penn State again has Pittsburgh in the hole.
Third and 13. Cavanaugh at the 28-yard line, and it's going to be fourth down and 8, and Greg Buttle and Kurt Allerman made the play.
Here's Greg Buttle. He's in almost all the tackles. Goes down the line, fights off one blocker, and you'll see him get right in on the tackle. Clouds to hit.
Larry Swiden punting to Rich Monty. 13 minutes left the game. Good good punt. Monty at the 30. And again, Pitt does just a superlative job of covering a punt. With the score, Pitt 6, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this.
Where do you think they get the money to buy diesel engines like these? Same place I get mine. Commercial credit. They lent millions for a bunch of diesels. I got $1,000 for my daughter's wedding. You know, when you think about it, if you need $1,000, it just makes sense to get it from the kind of pros who lend millions. And I mean millions.
The place to borrow $1,000 is from the people who lend millions. Commercial credit.
If you have a head for cars, head for Dodge.
This Charger comes with a new low price.
Cold Park's easy, and my, that's nice.
Ram Charger, four-wheel drive for traction.
Sportsman gets the crowd to the action.
If you have a head for cars, head for Dodge.
My four-door Dodge holds a whole car full.
My big Dodge wagon holds a nursery school. This Dart has a trunk about 2 miles wide.
This Ram Charger has a cooler inside.
If you have a head for cars, head for Dodge.
So in the late chill of the early evening, 1st and 10, Penn State at the Penn State 31-yard line. Husina at quarterback. Cepalo, the tailback. Cepalo. Tom Perko, the linebacker, with just great reactions, limits Cepalo to about a 2-yard gain. 2nd down, 8. In comes Schuler. Out goes Stutz. Max, you want to help me here keeping track of the time remaining because we're in the last quarter.
That's right, Ray. And I don't remember seeing 2 better defensive lines play than we've seen today on both sides. It's been outstanding.
2nd and 8. Marker down. Interference. 1st down, Penn State at the 41-yard line, and no doubt about that, the receiver was hit before the ball arrived. Tom Donovan, the intended receiver.
One thing about it, the home fans never like the call, but you'll be easily see that he was hit before the ball gets there. Right here, here comes the ball, and here comes the contact. Very much, definitely interference on Jeff Delaney.
Jeff Delaney, the monster back. 1st and 10, Penn State. Penn State 42. Cepalo. And Cepalo has a 1st down or close to it in Pitt territory where he's met by Wetherington and Jury. We're going to have a measurement.
I think this is one of the few times that with their own offense they've been able to get in some kind of field position. Other times it's been by the defense putting them in field position. So this is going to be a very important series for Penn State.
It was a 1st down, no measurement required. Husina picks up about 5 or 6 yards before Holloway and Romano caught up with him. So one of the few times today that Penn State's been able to pick up about 5 yards on 1st down.
They've been successful. Facina's been successful running the ball with the option to throw the ball. He did it earlier, and he did it again there and made good yardage.
Gain of 5. 2nd and 5 at the Pitt 43. 10:50 left in the game. Barbanchak and Donovan go wide to the right. Cepalo at the 38-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and maybe less than a yard for a 1st down.
It seems like all at once something's beginning to happen, and Penn State's beginning to block and move those people out of there, and as a result, they're getting themselves in a good position to come out of there with a score.
Steve Geist, the big, strong tailback, comes in. 2 tight ends. 3rd and 1 at the Pitt 39. Geis has a first down at the Pitt 37. Randy Cousins made the tackle, but it's another Penn State first down.
I would have to say, out of all their tailbacks, Ray, that Geis is probably the stronger runner. Maybe not the fastest, but definitely the strong runner. You can't arm tackle it. He gets in there and gets that short yardage you need for first down.
9:45 left in the game. Donovan and Barbanchak are out to the right of Fusina. This is Larry Suey. And he's inside the 30 with a great second effort before Dennis Moorhead made the tackle. And all of a sudden, it is second down and 2 at the Pitt 29.
Suey made no bones about the fact he wanted to run over somebody. He did run over one. He ran over Bob Jury and got the extra 3 or 4 yards.
Second down, 2. Geis. Close to a first down around the 27-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and less than 1. Double tight end again. 8:40 left in the game. Steve Geis. Touchdown.
I don't know whether they meant to go inside or outside on that play, but Steve Geis made a great move at the line of scrimmage. And when I said he wasn't fast, I was wrong. He got it in the end zone, and all at once, it's 6-6.
Steve Geis, the sophomore from Lock Haven, broke it to the outside for 27 yards, 6-6 game. Chris Barr will have a chance to put Penn State on top with 8:18 left in the game. Barbanchak the holder. Penn State has the lead with a score. Penn State 7, Pitt 6. We'll be back right after this. Penn State getting ready to kick off the Pitt. 8:18 left in the game. And Max McGee, I think Dick Barbanchak should get a lot of credit for handling a low snap and getting it in position for the kick by Barr.
I agree with that, Ray. That particular point, of course, could mean the whole ball game. It was a bad snap. He got it up, and Barr made the kick without getting off rhythm. And that's a good effort by Barbanchak and Barr.
Barr's kick. Elliott Walker is not going to run it out. So Pitt will start from the Pitt 20-yard line. Here's the replay.
Here's that touchdown run, Ray, and like I say, I think the play might have been set up to go inside. He came in, veered to the outside because he saw the opening and absolutely made the play of the game for Penn State.
All right, Tony Dorsett, Elliott Walker, the setbacks behind Matt Cavanaugh. This is Gordon Jones. Gordon Jones. Pitt first down, just like that.
I've got a feeling that may be the first pass that Gordon Jones has caught today. So that's some kind of, Joe Paterno said at the beginning of the game that he had as much fear of Gordon Jones as he did for Tony Dorsett. So holding him to one catch has been quite a feat.
Joe DeAnge has moved in defensively for Penn State. Here goes Dorsett. Oh, he almost broke a big one. John Quinn upset him, but Dorsett picked up to the 39-yard line, a gain of 8, and it's 2nd and 2.
He's one of the few backs that looks good even when he's falling down.
To the right, Taylor and Jones. 2nd and 2. Dorsett, first down, and Pitt is on the move.
It's amazing after 3.5 quarters of play, neither team being able to move the ball, and all at once now they're both moving the ball. Maybe all they needed was to feel each other out for about 3 quarters.
Pitt has moved from the Pitt 20 to the Pitt 48. 7:25 left in the game.
They have a place kicker who's 13 out of 18 and one of the better kickers in the country.
Elliott Walker, and he gets about 5 yards on first down before John Quinn brings him down. Second down, 5 at the Penn State 47.5. Elliott Walker is nailed by Ron Coder for no gain. So here's one of the biggest third downs of the game coming with 6.5 minutes remaining. 3rd and 5 at the Penn State 47.
We're getting down to where the name of the game is the clock, and the clock is running, and first downs right now are hard to get, and it's a big first down for Pittsburgh.
First down. Matt Cavanaugh gets a big first down.
Great blocking by his front line that time, and of course he made a great run and had a chance to throw it, decided to keep it. Good block by Joe Stone.
Dennis Mugin comes in, Joe DeAnge comes out, Tony Petruccio comes in, John Quinn goes out. First down, Pitt at the Penn State 40. 5:50 left in the game. The clock is running. Tony Dorsett. Short game to the 36-yard line. Dennis Mugin, who just checked back into the lineup, made the tackle. But Dorsett picked up 4. Second down and 6. What a game.
That's right, Ray. I'll bet you Bear Bryant from Alabama, who's playing this Penn State team in the Sugar Bowl, watching this defense and trying to figure out what he can run against this Penn State defense because they really look great today.
2nd and 6. Elliott Walker to the 34. It's going to be another big third down play. It's going to be 3rd and 4. And when the ball is snapped the next time, less than 5 minutes will remain in the game.
Field goal, of course, would be a little over 50 yards here, so I think possibly Pitt will put the ball in the air this time.
3rd and 4. Incomplete, intended for Gordon Jones. It is 4th and 4. Mike Johnson was defending. Oh, that was ever so close. Tremendous catch by Jones. I think he got his left hand on it.
That's right, and as good a hand as he's got, that's almost all he needed to catch it. But here comes, is it a field goal team or is it the punting team?
Field goal. Carson Long, Larry Swider, the holder, and unless it's a fake, this will be an attempt of 51 yards.
The fans are on their feet because this could possibly be the outcome of this ball game right here.
White. Penn State has the football with the score. Penn State 7, Pitt 6. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to the Pennsylvania Lottery's Lucky Lotto game, where you tune in and play at home for big money. Over 120,000 weekly winners with prizes to $10,000. And finalists compete on the cube for up to $5,000 plus $500 a month for life. It's Play TV, so buy your $1 tickets and tune in Thursday nights.
Lucky Lotto. You could really clean up.
If you have a head for cars, head for Dodge.
This Charger comes with a new low price.
Cold Park's easy and my, that's nice.
Ram Charger, four-wheel drive for traction.
Sportsman gets the crowd to the action.
You have a head for cars, head for Dodge.
My four-door Dodge holds a whole car full.
My big Dodge wagon holds a nursery school. This Dart has a trunk about 2 miles wide.
This Ram Charger has a cooler inside.
If you have a head for cars, head for Dodge.
Penn State has the football. First and 10 at the Penn State 20. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left in the game. The freshman, Bucina, is still at quarterback. Steve Geis gets about a yard to the 21, where he's met by linebacker Arnie Weatherington, and what a game he has played.
You're right about that, and this whole Pitt defense has played a fantastic game. When you hold Penn State to 7 for almost 4 quarters, and I could say the same thing for Penn State because they've held Dorsett also. This is some kind of defensive game, and this is going to be a great Sugar Bowl when this team goes down and plays Alabama.
2nd and 9. Bucina. Fumble. I don't know who recovered for Pitt, but Pitt has the ball at the Penn State 29-yard line. 1st and 10.
Here's a replay. Bucina had a big opening here. He should tuck that ball under his arm. He did, but after he got hit, he fumbled almost out of bounds. It was a foot from going out of bounds, and then it would have been Penn State's ball.
1st down, Pitt at the Penn State 29. This is Dorsett. Peter Kuski made a great play on Dorsett, and there is no gain. 3:40 left, and the clock running. Watch Gary Peter Kuski, number 42 of Penn State. Well, I thought we'd get a chance to see it again, but I guess we won't.
Well,
no gain.
There's no doubt that was a great play by Peter Kuski to come all the way up from safety and make a no-gain play on Tony Dorsett.
2nd and 10. Marker down as Kavanaugh kept the ball. I thought I saw a marker.
Yes, it's offsides against Pittsburgh. The left tackle or left end jumped a little too fast. I'm sure it's offside.
Offside Pitt. So now it's going to be 2nd and 15 at the Penn State 34. 3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the game.
They almost have to take the penalty because at this range, every yard counts from a field goal standpoint.
Rodney Clark, a wingback, is in the game now. Second down, 15 at the Penn State 34. Clark to the left, Gordon Jones to the right. This is for Jones. At the 6-yard line. Mike Johnson turned his back, and Gordon Jones makes the catch. It is 1st and goal.
Mike Johnson did not know he was throwing the ball that way. He had his back turned all the way, and you can see he's not really ready to try to make the play, but he made a great tackle, saved a touchdown.
2:50 left, 1st and goal, Pitt at the Penn State 6. Walker is nailed at the line of scrimmage by Greg Buttle. It'll be 2nd and goal. Now the ball is directly in front of the uprights. Here's Buttle.
Take a look at Buttle. He smells that play right off the bat, goes through that hole, and makes the big tackle right there.
Second and goal. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. Dorsett. Out of bounds by Zmugin. A loss to the 9. It'll be third and goal with 2:06 left in the game.
It's hard to believe how much pressure has been put on this Penn State defense, and they've responded every time. Of course, right now, they have a real problem because they're very close to field goal range. Well, they are in field goal range, and the clock is running out. But they've already held them a third down and third and 8.
Pitt has asked for a timeout, and it'll give us a chance to say thank you to a lot of people who have helped us throughout this entire season. The president of Penn State University and a true football fan, Dr. John Oswald. Dr. Bob Scannell, who is Dean of the College of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation. Ed Checkeye, the Director of Athletics. The Associate Director, Jim Timon. And Sever Toretti, Assistant Athletic Director, who's been so very helpful. Former Penn State great Richie Lucas, the business manager. And we can't say enough to Sports Information Director John Morris and members of his staff. And of course, I know you join with me, Max, in saying to the man who makes it all happen, Coach Joe Paterno, that man right there, and his coaches. It has truly been a most enjoyable experience.
I can vouch for that, Ray. I've had more excitement and more fun this football season than I have in many a long time, because college football is very exciting. They get so much action and so many plays going, and this particular year, it seems like the last 4 weeks, every game has ended up just like this, where the last play means the game.
Third down, goal to go, Penn State 9, 2 minutes, 6 seconds left to play.
I'll tell you one thing, there's a nervous place kicker standing over here on the sidelines awaiting this particular play, and I don't think, I can't believe that Pitt would put it in the air. I think they'll probably put it between the goalposts, possibly try to make some yardage, but I think right now they've settled for that field goal.
Third and goal, Penn State 9. Elliott Walker to the 5, and now it is fourth and goal. Less than 2 minutes left in the game. Carson Long will try for his 14th field goal of the season. The clock continues to run. This will be an attempt of 23 yards.
There'll be a great attempt to block it put on by the Penn State defense right now.
It is not good. It is wide to the side. And Penn State somehow comes out of what looked like a certain field goal by Pitt. I don't think it was blocked. He may have been a little bit intimidated by one of the on-rushing Nittany Lions.
Somebody came in from the left side and may not have got a hand on it, but they came very close. Gary Peter Cuskey might have got a hand on it. I doubt it. But regardless of whether he did or not, he put so much pressure that he missed a point-blank field goal. And that's the story right there in a nutshell.
Chuck Fusina is at quarterback. Jimmy Cephalo gets it out to the 24-yard line. Now Pitt has just 2 timeouts remaining. Here it is again now in extra slow motion.
We should be able to tell now if Gary Peter Cuskey gets a hand on the ball. The kick is off. 2 white jerseys, but I don't think they touched it.
The clock is running. Second down, 6 at the Penn State 24. 1 minute left. Blaine Taylor protecting the football. Pitt now asks for a timeout, so the Panthers have 1 timeout remaining. And incidentally, we've been talking about Penn State and Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. I'll tell you this, the folks down in that Sun Bowl are going to see a heck of a football team when Pitt plays the winner, and we do not know as of this moment the winner of the Missouri-Kansas game.
I I sure wouldn't be, like you say, Pitt has played as good a defensive game today as I've seen all year, as well as Penn State. In fact, this has been about the best defensive game I've seen played all year, and especially the front four, which has not been the case all year for Penn State. But their front four today has been absolutely outstanding. And you've seen Pitt hold Penn State to 7 points, and not many people can do that.
For Penn State, a 3rd down and 4 at the 26-yard line of Penn State. 49 seconds left in the game. Pitt has 1 timeout remaining, so conceivably could get the football.
I have a feeling that Penn State would really like to make this 1st down. That would absolutely put it out of reach. Otherwise, Pitt will get a shot, and they'll probably have about 30 seconds in order to try to get another field goal attempt.
Incidentally, Kansas will be the opponent for Pitt in the Sun Bowl. Bucina protecting the football. Pitt now asked for timeout with 43 seconds left, and now the pressure is on Chris Barr, the punter.
As well as the man who centers that ball back there. I've watched the snaps today, have been a little bit weak. So right now, a snap is very important. That's Greg Kubas, who's been snapping good all year. So the importance is on the snap and then the kick.
We're in the midst of Pitt's timeout, and many of the defensive players, the members of this special team, have been over talking with the Pitt coaches, and whether they're going to try and set up a block or whether they're going to try and set up a return remains to be seen. One of the best punt returners in the country, right there, Gordon Jones, is back for Barr's punt.
So far, Barr's been able to kick it away from him pretty regularly.
Great punt. Fair catch. It goes out of bounds at the 39-yard line of Pitt. 37 seconds left in a game that, despite its low scoring, I'd still have to rate it, Max, one of the most interesting and certainly hardest hitting football games we've seen in a long time.
You can say that again. The whole Dorsett keeping from getting across the goal line, as well as this defense for Penn State, is quite an accomplishment.
And one thing, too, I think that we should point out now, is it's the final regular season game for both teams, is the fact that both Penn State and Pitt, Max, you look through their squad roster, just loaded with talented underclassmen, so that next year's quality of football at both these schools should be outstanding.
Well, you could look forward to seeing these two teams again about the same time next year, and you'll probably see just as good a game, because like you said, Dorsett has another year, believe it or not. It seemed like he's been there forever, but he made over 1,000 yards as a freshman. Of course, he's probably going to break maybe all the rushing records that exist, even though Archie Griffin is probably breaking them all this year. Every year it's a new runner, and it's great college football.
Pitt, 1st down 10, Pitt 39-yard line, 37 seconds left in the game. Matt Cavanaugh blocker down. Peter Cuskey and Johnson were defending against Pitt's Rodney Clark, and a marker down at the Penn State 35-yard line. Interference, Penn State, 28 seconds left.
Well, we'll see if they're back in field goal range again. We'll see. It was definitely a judgment call, and he threw the flag just a little bit late, but he's down there where he can see it. Evidently thought it was interference, and he's all at once Pitt's right back in field goal range again.
28 seconds left. To the left, Jones and Taylor. To the right, Farmer. Petruccio nails Dorsett at the line of scrimmage. 20 seconds. Pitt's going to go without a huddle. 15 seconds. Farmer at the 28-yard line, 9 seconds left. The clock stopped. Right down to the wire. And now
almost impossible to dodge 3 bullets in a row, but that's exactly what Penn State's going to have to do to salvage this game.
This will be a 45-yard attempt. Swider, the holder. Carson Long, the kicker. It is not good. 3 seconds left. Greg Buttle and Jim Rosecrans, as a dejected Carson Long comes to the sidelines. Greg Buttle and Jim Rosecrans are wrestling with each other.
They got to be a happy bunch. Like I say, to dodge 3 bullets in a row in 2 minutes is almost too much to ask, but the Penn State defense has done it again, and here we are. 2 seconds to go, and they've got the ball.
Carson Long, whose kicking has meant so much to the University of Pittsburgh, you just, as we watch it again, not quite on target.
Out of all 3 kicks, the first one he had was the closest.
3 seconds left, and the final play of the football game. Pitt and Penn State continue their tremendous, long rivalry with one of the most interesting of all the games played. The final score, Penn State 7, Pitt 6. We'll be back with Coach Joe Paterno's comments on today's game right after this.